Guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It is your big bro, Nate. I want to talk about something today that a lot of men out there aren't talking about, and it needs some attention. And that is God wants you to stop worrying about women. Stop obsessing over women, guys. And I'm going to tell you why, right? A lot of people out there who might be telling you something about women and this or that, how to get women, like everything revolves around women, right? Guys, this is exactly why we're in the mess that we're in as men, because we have put so much stock, we have put so much mental power and capacity, we've put so much, we've like given ourselves over emotionally, we have emptied ourselves out for women, we have idolized women. Guys, there is a Jezebel spirit that has pervaded everything. It has infiltrated many, many women, especially in the West. It's spreading around the world. Even places that were Western influenced are becoming that way as we speak. Things are getting kind of crazy. And guys, it's not by coincidence, right? The enemy, Satan, whatever you want to call it, is attacking the world every way it can, right? The world is being flipped upside down on its head. And as men, we have a choice. We can either keep trying to figure out how the world works, we can keep trying to figure out how to do things the worldly way, or we can look at what God has done, what He said, and we can take the truth and apply it to our lives. So guys, what do I mean? When men obsess over women, there is something about us as men. We were not built. God did not make us as men to obsess over women like we're doing. It can seem normal, but it's not. Guys, our brains, our minds, our hearts, everything has been hijacked by women, right? I often think about how great it would be to be a woman in this day and age, because you have so much power, so much social power. The only power you don't really have is like physical power, but you can externalize that power. You can use that power to your advantage, right? You can use other people, the police, there's so many things you can do, like when it comes to the courts and the law, like you can get out of so many things, right? It's really the only downside to being a woman these days. But ultimately, you have so much power and influence, right? Like, even if you're just mildly attractive, I'm talking mildly, guys, right? You can have so much influence. And a lot of these women out here, guys, I'm gonna be real with you. This is why it's so dangerous. A lot of women these days know what's going on. They see things the way that they're going, and a lot of women are presenting themselves as innocent. Straight up innocent. Now, why do I talk about this, guys? This channel, we talk about a lot of different things, because as men, one of our biggest downfalls, if not the biggest downfall to men, is women. The strongest, smartest, bravest men of history have fallen because of women, right? And it's important to know what good versus evil looks like, what good women are, what evil women are. Because these days we've been told that good is evil and evil is good. I've lived it, guys. I've been there. I used to be obsessed with women. I can talk from my wisdom and experience that God's given me, and I can apply this, and I can give you guys an insight. I'm always here to answer your questions. I'm always here to help you guys out. But the truth is, a lot of women are disguising themselves as angels of light. I hate to say this, guys, but it's the truth. A lot of women know what they're doing these days. They know who they are. And they know they have to disguise themselves. And here's the crazy part, guys. Like, some guys watching this might disagree with me, but I would rather have a woman be straight up with me about how off the rails she's been, how rebellious she's been, how crazy and wild she's been. I'd rather her be straight up with me about that and just honest and just own it. than trying to hide behind this veil of traditionalism, this veil of purity, this veil of this or that. And here's the thing, guys, I'm going to preface this by saying I believe that Jesus can change a heart. I truly do believe that. However, I also know that we are still living in our fleshly bodies and we still struggle with things. There are still earthly consequences to things. And oftentimes when Jesus saves you, yes, you are saved, you're marked. However, there is a sanctification process. And a lot of these women are, guys, a lot of these church girls especially, you got to be careful, because a lot of them are in their mid to late 20s, 30s, and they're basically saying like, oh, I'm changed, God's changed me. And all it is a ploy to get men in their later 20s and 30s, right? The men that they want, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, if you look at Christian churches, if you look at, they've done surveys, couples are, like, the women are happiest in Christian marriages. The men aren't, funny enough. And I think it's because the men aren't masculine and they're not being admired and respected the way they want to be respected and admired by their wives. But Christian wives are surveyed to have some of the most happy, fulfilling marriages out of any other group. So these women are infiltrating the church knowing that there are good guys with good hearts who want to serve, who want to sacrifice, who want to give, who want to love a woman. And these women, guys, I'm gonna be straight up with you. You gotta be so careful these days, because women will use you and not think twice about it. They will think you can fix them. They will want you to fix them. You will think you can fix them. I've been in a relationship with a woman that I thought was sent to me by God. And in a sense, she was, right? In a sense, God did send her to me, right? It's funny how God answers our prayers, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because it taught me so much about life. But this girl, I've dated women, right? Dated them, gone out with them, have had girlfriends, but this girl was different because she checked every box that I had at that time. But it was like almost too good to be true, guys. And as the months and the weeks and months went on, I realized that it wasn't as it appeared to be. She was not all there. And I hope the best for her. I really do. I really want her to be better. But it's like the mask started to crack, and it was almost like she was living a double life. I actually made a video on this. You can search it in my channel. It's called My Experience Dating a Pathological Liar. Guys, these women will make you think that you are the king of the world. And then at the end, you will be left feeling like a writhing worm. And God is the only one who can deliver you out of that, right? Like, God's got to give you the motivation to get back up and get going. God's got to be the one to like work on your heart and change your mind, right? It's a certain type of woman, and some guys have experienced it, some haven't. Like, it goes deeper than just the narcissistic girlfriend. It goes deeper than just a woman who's like full of herself. It's a different breed, guys. If you guys have ever read into it, like the Dark Triad on like men, imagine that for like a woman. It's not what you think it would be. It's a mind. Guys, you're shocked. But I'm telling you guys this, and I want to make more videos on this because I want to motivate you. I want to encourage you. I want you to know that God is with you. I want you to call on the name of the Lord. However, and that being said, we also need to be practical about our lives, because we can't just sit around and be like, God, please, like, send a woman to my front door right now. Send the love of my life, the perfect compliment and wife. Like, we can't do that. We can't make a mockery of God. God gives us the tools as men. He brings us through the crucible. He gives us the wisdom. He gives us the strength and the knowledge to act on it. He gives us the toolbox. He gives us the talent. It's up to us to go out there and do something with it. It's up to us to stop being lazy. He gives us the fire, the drive, the tools, the knowledge. He gives it all, and we need to do something with it. And so that's why I make these videos. because I want you guys to be aware. This needs to be talked about as men. We need to stop glossing over it. We need to stop acting like it's normal, because we end up going one of a few paths. We end up either becoming very jaded, cynical, and apathetical, and we just lose all desire for women, and we become black pilled, and we become hateful and spiteful of women, and we end up in this mentality of, I'm just going to go live in a cabin in the woods and just play with my dog. You're just like the cat lady who grows old, who wishes she had a family, right? I'm sorry, that's how it is, guys. Like, that's the reality. Or some guys become a player. They go, I see the demise, I'm going to buy into it, right? I know guys, like, just as an example, I know guys who play into it. Like, they know what attracts women. They know, like, the confidence, the charisma, the straightforwardness, the masculinity. They know what attracts women, but they'll also play the, like, feminist card too, of like, oh yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, I don't care. Like, yeah, like, they'll encourage that kind of behavior. And that honestly works with a lot of women, especially dating apps these days, right? It's become so polarized. So you can go that route. You can be a player, right? You can manipulate women. You can pull them in, you can manipulate them. You can just make the problem worse, because you're not, what good is going to come from that? Nothing I can think of, right? And I've been down the road of being a ladies' man, and it's not fulfilling, right? Like, you just end up like hurting women, and in a way you end up hurting yourself. A lot of guys don't want to admit it, but like, you do end up going like, was that worth it? Like, what was there to gain? I'm not saying that was the case all the time, but it is something to think about. You also got to realize that there is another way. And that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing. That's what we're talking about. And that is, how can things be better? What can we look for? What can we do to guard ourselves? Well, the first and foremost thing you need to do, guys, is focus on who you are. Remember how I said, like, I thought back to my life, thought to when I had all these options and when I was dating the most. It's when I was just doing my thing. I truly believe that God wants us on our purpose, and God wants us on our mission before he brings women into our life, because we need to have something that goes beyond a woman. We need to stop idolizing women. We need to put God's plan, God's purpose first and foremost in our lives. And that is already going to bring a natural, like, magnetic appeal to women. You're going to draw them in. And this is why bad guys are so popular with women, guys. Yeah, you have a few guys who are bums with women, but even the bad guys have something going for them, because they're so obsessed with money, or they're so obsessed with being somebody or something. Like, they don't care. And that's attractive to a lot of women, because they just don't care. And more good men need to not care. Like, we need to stop caring so much about what women or people or society think of us. We've become emasculated, we've become feminized, and we've just rolled over and let it happen. Personally, I think it's because men are timid, and because we're timid, we've turned to things that are numbing: porn, alcohol, drugs, like all these things that are quick fixes, and we've indulged in them, and they numb us out. They numb our drive, they numb our spark of life, they numb our testosterone, so we're not as confrontational, right? And we've bought into the script that's been fed to us through the music and the movies about how we're supposed to be and act a certain way, how being masculine is threatening. But then you look and you see all the guys who have the women that you want, and they're the exact opposite, and you go, what the heck is going on? And some guys are like, oh, it's because of how they look, it's because of how, no, it's because they believe in themselves more than anything else. Now, what I'm telling you guys is, again, you can go down one of those roads, right? You can go down the road of like, I'm going to be the most prideful, selfish guy there is, or you can realize that God has a greater purpose for you and not waste your time with the wrong women. Because guys, even the guys who, like the bad guys who are hanging out with the bad women, those women still do a number on them, even if they don't admit it. It's still, in a sense, wasted time. It's still, in a, like, wasted money. Like, there's just nothing good that comes from it. Think about it like truly at the end of the day, right? Like people date. Most of the time people date so that they can get close to someone, so they can fill a void, and it turns into something sexual. It turns into something like surface level, and it either quickly fades or it gets fanned up. And most people's relationships, they end up in a dumpster fire because of emotions and all these things. It's like, why waste your time? Why waste your time going that route? Or you can be so focused on everything you want to do, and so focused on everything that you want to become, and so focused on everything that God has planned for you and God's put in your heart, and the unique set of talents and gifts. You can bring other people up with you. You can lift them up. You can serve them. You can inspire them. You can pay off your parents' house. You can pay off your parents' debts. You can help the people you love and be there for them. You can be the leader in your circle. And then when you've made it, or maybe you meet somebody along the way, a helpmeet, an Eve to your Adam, a perfect complement for you, comes into your life, sees what you're doing, sees your mission, is also moving in her purpose that God has her in, sees that and goes, wow, this is what I've been praying for. This is the type of man I want to respect. Notice how I said respect, not love, because it's easier for women to love. It's much harder to respect. Paul calls women to respect their husbands, right? So like, that's what men want at the end of the day. Men say they want love. Well, a woman's version of love to them is respect. You want to be respected, right? You got to be the man with a plan. You got to be the man that women are like, you know what, this guy has got a good head on his shoulders. He's a leader. He's strong. He doesn't let his emotions take over. He's going to lead me. He's going to protect me. He's going to guide me. Like, this is how it needs to look, guys. God, man and his purpose, woman. I know that's going to blow out of people's minds. They're like, oh my God, what? It's exactly how it's modeled in the New Testament, and people look over it all the time, right? The head is God. This is the man, and then the woman is submitting to the man. Obviously, the woman is going to keep submitting to God and putting God first. But the man, you need, as a man, you need to be so plugged in. You need to be so connected. You need to be submitting to God, guys. I know that's a crazy word, submitting. Like, is blows people's mind because they're like, I'm a man, I can't submit. Guys, submitting to God, you will get exactly what you're supposed to get out of life. Exactly. Not more, not less. Exactly the perfect plan for your life if you submit to God. It's like God's ways are the best ways, guys. He will lead you exactly where you need to go. Like, it'll be so easy. You're like, how am I here? Like, all of your anxiety's gone. All of your like worries are gone. It'll just be like, there'll still be hard times, but you'll be able to just like run through a brick wall. I don't know how else to put it. It's just that simple. And then a woman of God can look at you as a man of God and be like, whoa, I want that man to have my kids because he's a man of God. And I want to raise my kids exactly how he wants to raise those kids. And I want to submit to him, and I want to respect him, and I want to be his wife, his helpmeet. I want to submit to him. That's how it should be. That's how all the happiest marriages are. That's how all the happiest families are. That's how it works. These like women got to rule the home and happy wife, happy life. That stuff never works. A happy man, a man who's confident in his purpose, who knows what he wants, who knows the plan that God's given him, who acts on that. That's what women want, guys. They want that man who's like, I know what I want. And so you got to do the complete opposite of what everybody else is doing. Everybody else is trying to be the pickup artist and figure out women's minds and figure out how to stir the pot. And guys, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of women like it's almost like a cheat code. If you're this type of guy, if you're this type of good man on his mission, doing what you're supposed to do, not caring what anybody thinks, and just following what God tells you to do, this involves actually getting out there and serving people too, because you can't just be a man. Like, you can't be like a mad scientist from your home and just be like, nobody knows who you are. You gotta like put yourself out there too. You got to get involved with people. You got to network. You got to like build a team, right? You got to serve others personally. You got to get to know others personally. But you will attract both types of women, good and bad. Or you can be the man, like all these other guys online are saying, like, oh, you know, I have the cars, I have the money, I just can't find a good woman out there. And it's like, I've never heard one of those men go, yeah, you know, I've turned to God. I've tried, you know, I've been to church, you know, I've been trying to find a good woman. I've been trying to talk about spiritual things, and it's just not working. I've yet to hear that, because those men aren't looking for those type of women. They think they don't say it, but they think they're gonna find a wonderful traditional woman who checks every box in the worldly way. And they might find some good women, but I truly believe that there's a spiritual connection that we all crave. There's something deeper than a physical, emotional, mental connection that we all crave, and that's the God connection. So if you find a woman, if you're plugged into God, you find a woman who's plugged into God, and then you come together in God and the Spirit, that's where you're gonna find that desire, that craving fulfilled, right? And you're not gonna want other women. You're not gonna want all these other things. And that's where all these other guys are stuck, is they're like, I can't find it. It's like, because you don't have God. You're still missing something. Because these women don't have God. And these women who have God, who truly have God and are waiting for God, are not going to pay you any mind, because they see you living in the world. They see you living a worldly way. But if you're this guy over here who's like, I'm all in it for God. I want to find God. I want to do what he wants. I want to do exactly what he wants me to do. I want to submit to him and his will. The good women are going to go, whoa, that's the guy I want to go for. And you got to be prepared, guys. You got to be prepared to go through it, right? You got to be prepared to go through it, because life is a bunch of battles. It's a bunch of tests. But that's the oxymoron, guys. That's the secret, is stop caring so much about like women, and worry about your own life, and do what you want to do, and network with other like-minded dudes, and do masculine stuff, man. Like join a fighting club, get in the gym, get out, start moving around, go out, enjoy the freaking sunshine, dude. Like, get out there and do something, man. I'm telling you, that's where you're gonna find a woman. So God wants you to stop focusing so much on women and focus on him, and then you will find the women that you want. The woman, let me clarify, the woman, you'll have to choose, right? You'll still have to vet, you'll still have to sift, you'll still have to be discerning, have a discerning spirit, test the spirits, but you'll find the woman that God wants you to be with, right? The word find, I'm gonna end the video with this. I looked it up because it's in Proverbs, you know, about finding a wife. He who finds a wife finds a good thing from the Lord. And I was like, what does that mean? So I looked up the word find, and like, there's a few definitions to find. One is to actively search it out, right? And I think that's what a lot of men are doing. They're actively searching it out. There's another meaning though, and that's when you're just going about your life and you happen to find it, right? You happen to just come across it. You found it. You came across it. And I think the reality is we're supposed to be searching for God. We're supposed to be searching for our purpose in God, our mission in God. And then through that, we will find the woman. God will bring her into our aperture, into our surroundings when we're ready, when we're rooted in him. And that's when we'll find the woman. So guys, if you got any questions, any disagreements, anything you want to talk about, let me know in the comments below. And Lord willing, I will see y'all in the next one.